Hello, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Welcome if you're new. I'm Karen Casey, and today I am going to show you how I did this look with the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm also going to give you a quick review on this. First things first, I am going to skip swatches. There are swatches of this all over the internet. I'm not going to take the time. I'm not going to use your time. You can just go Google pictures. They will be there. So this palette is 35 custom colors. Jaclyn Hill collaborated with Morphe to bring us this. I was very skeptical at first, not of Jaclyn's work, not of Morphe. I love Morphe. I'm not a Morphe affiliate or anything, so don't, get that twisted. I think Morphe is great. I think they do great quality work, especially for the price of the palettes. But I saw that $35 price tag and was like, that's like $10 more than the other Morphe palettes. What's going on? Why? So then I watched Jaclyn's video on this palette and things, and she explained that they used all new machines. They did a new grinding process. They pressed the things differently. She spent 2 years taking samples and sending them back because they weren't right. And there was one color she sent back like 25 times. So that explains why this is now $38. And that is more expensive than the other Morphe palettes. However, because of the new grinding process and the new machines and it is way higher quality than the other stuff. So I am going to swatch one color for you guys just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll swatch Twerk. I'm going to try to show you that I'm barely touching this. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Done. It picked up that much, which isn't very much because I went in with a very light hand. And just look at how much color I got just from that little bit and how even it is. There's no patchiness, nothing. And these, honestly, are the creamiest shadows I've ever felt. I've never felt like a Tom Ford or a YSL shadow, to be fair. Like, I haven't felt really high-end shadows. But, like, I've spent more money for less colors that weren't as pigmented and weren't as creamy as this. And I would love to say, the proof is in the pudding. Just try it out. You'll love it. You could hate it. I don't think you should hate it because it's Morphe or because it's Jaclyn, whatever. I think you should try it, but you could hate it. I personally love this palette. I'm a big, big fan. They blend so easy. They're great. There's a little bit of fallout on a couple of the shades, which is to be expected. That's not anything new. A lot of the shades don't have any, though, which is great. My main thing, and hear me out, this packaging is gorgeous. It's very Jaclyn. It's white with silver. It's got Jaclyn's signature, and it says the Jaclyn Hill palette, and it says Morphe X Jaclyn on the back with JH all over it. And the inside says, this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers, XO Jaclyn, and I think that's adorable. And it comes in this white packaging here, and it has Jaclyn being cute and, her adorable, quirky self on the back, and it says, creating this palette has truly been a dream come true for me. Morphe gave me full creative control and allowed me to customize my dream palette for everyone to enjoy. Every shade was customized by me, and I really hope you guys love it as much as I do. I wanted a range of neutrals and pops of color to accommodate all skin tones. I put my heart and soul into this palette, and I hope my pickiness pays off. I believe her pickiness paid off. The packaging, though, like I was saying, I think the white is very Jaclyn. I think it's gorgeous. However, it gets so dirty so fast. And because it is cardboard, and it's a very sturdy cardboard, it's not cheap. It's very solid. It'll last a while. But, like, I can't take wet paper towel and wash it off because that will ruin the cardboard. So, this white, I don't know if you guys can see, I already have shadow, like, all over it. So, that's a little upsetting to me. I would love for there to be, like, some sort of lamination on it so that I could take a, wet paper towel and just wash it off real quick. And also, I would love for the names to be somewhere in the palette. Like maybe on the back. You know, you put a diagram with the names or something. You do get this piece of paper. But I'm going to lose this. And I want to know the names of what colors I'm working with, especially if I'm doing more tutorials with this. I need to know the names, and they're not on here. So I would really like that. And my last thing is, it would be really cool if the top would fold back. It does not. It looks like it should with the lines here, but it doesn't. This can be a little cumbersome, you know, and this flops around and it closes and da 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 da. But overall, I think this palette is so worth the $38, and you get 35 colors, so that's like $1 and change a shadow. So it's more expensive than Morphe's palettes usually are, but it's still not expensive. So I would run and get this when they restock. I bought 2, and I'm very glad that I did. And if they restock, when they restock, I may buy a 3rd, because I don't want to be without this. Like, it's that great for me. Like I said, you may hate it. I don't see how, but everyone has their own tastes. So there's that. That is my review, and yeah. So let's get into the tutorial. Alright, so I'm going to take the shade Silk Cream. It's this 3rd one on the top row. And I'm going to use that as my transition shade. I'm going to use my Y17. It's just a nice, small, fluffy brush. So it's just going to give a little wash of color of a transition shade. So that way, when we have the colors, it doesn't go, you know, color, bam, skin tone. There's a little more flow. So I'm just going to take a little swirl of that and just run it on in there. And I have already primed my eyes. I used my e.l.f. concealer and a setting powder like I always do. And we're just going to blend this really well because, like I said, we just want it to be a little wash of color. Alright. Now to the fun stuff. I'm going to take my e.l.f. liner and my angled eyeliner brush that I always use. And I'm going to take some sort of straight edge because I'm going to be doing a wing, but with a twist. So, like always, because I can't be bothered to get up and get something else, I'm going to use the edge of my lash container. I'm going to get a little product on here. Another good product to use for this would be the NYX Jumbo Pencil, and you just get that on a brush in Black Bean. I like this a little better because the NYX Jumbo Pencil smudges really easy, which is nice if you're trying to smudge something, but if you want it to stay in place, it gets a little messy. So I'm just going to line this up with my lower lash line, like I always do, and just mark my line. Alright, and we have that marked, and I want this to be really dramatic, so I'm going to bring it really far out, or really far out for me, depending on how big you make your wings. That might not be real dramatic for you. And then I'm going to start to bring this in, but instead of straight across and kind of down like I usually do, I'm actually going to bring this like up into my crease. So it's going to come, for me it's straight across as I'm looking down, but to you guys it probably looks slanted downward. And then up into the crease. And then I'm going to fix the edge because it's looking a little crooked now that we've done that into the crease. If my hair would get out of my way, that would be great. Thank you. Okay. And just make little adjustments until you're satisfied with the shape. And keep stepping back to check it out. Alright, I am happy with that. So I am going to fill this in, this wing part here, and I'm going to bring it into my crease more. And I'm going to bring it about 1/3 of the way onto my eyelid. See, this came in, and we have the wing there. Good. So before that has too much of a chance to dry, I'm going to take my e.l.f. concealer brush. It's just this teeny tiny little thing. And I'm going to take the shade Jada, which is this matte green-blue here. And I'm just going to pat this all over where we put the black. Don't worry if it gets kind of messy. We can clean it up and sharpen the wing up later. Alright, and then once that is patted on all nice and even, I'm going to do the other side, which I'm going to fast forward through, or probably delete. If you needed to see how I did this, again, just rewind. And that color, or the black, is acting as a base so that we can do this with the shadow. I would not recommend doing this without some sort of base. A NYX Jumbo Pencil, a gel or cream eyeliner, something. If you try to do this with just straight shadow, it's gonna get pretty messy. So, you know, the base that you use will change the color a bit. So just keep that in mind when you're picking which base you want to use. Alright, this is the point at which I would go in with the makeup remover and just clean up any smudging, make sure that the wings are the same shape and size. Alright, this is looking a little crazy right now, but it's going to come together, I promise. I have a cut on my nose because I've been sick, and then the tissues have been, like, scraping my nose. Okay, so now I'm going to take one of my e.l.f. C eyeshadow brushes, and I'm going to wet it. You do not have to do this. The shimmers here are plenty pigmented and metallic and shimmery enough to not have to do this. I'm going to do this because I really want the shade that I'm going to use to stand out from the shade I just used. So the shade I'm about to use is Pool Party, and it's this shimmery blue duochrome right here. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to put that on the second 2/3 of my lid, so it's kind of the center. And I'm going to overlap that with Jada so that we have a nice blend. And I'm going back into my palette a couple of times because I'm taking small amounts because this is so pigmented. So even though I'm going in, that doesn't mean it's not pigmented and I have to keep layering. It means I'm not taking enough because I want to build. Alright, I'm going to take my other eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. because yes, I have two. Any shader or packing sort of brush will do, and I'm going to wet this one again. Again, you don't have to do that. I'm just taking it from 100 to 200 because that's what I like to do. And I'm going to take the shade Obsessed, this shimmer right here, and I'm going to put that from my inner corner into Pool Party. Remember to overlap so that you have a nice blend. And I'm going to let those dry a second so that we're not creating a big mess, because moving wet shadows doesn't work real well. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. eye crease brush once it is dry, and I'm going to further blend those edges together. The edge between Pool Party and Jada is going to be a little tricky because of the base that we set down that has now dried and is going to be a little tough to move, but just be patient, keep going back and forth, it'll move, I promise. And if you goof and it moved a little too much, you can always just go back in with whatever shade you want more of and just keep blending. Like, I removed Jada a little too much for my taste there, so I'm just going to go back with my e.l.f. concealer brush, that little teeny tiny one, and just pat a little bit more of Jada on there. And there we have that. I'm going to take a different brush to blend Obsessed and Pool Party because that had a mix of Jada and Pool Party on it, which I don't want to bring onto Obsessed. I'm actually going to take my Effortless Crease brush from It Brushes for Ulta and just use the edge to kind of those shadows together. This one doesn't take as much because there's not a sticky base under them. And there we go. I'm going to take the little face and body glitters from Wet n Wild. I will link them down below. I don't really remember what they're called. Okay, I have cleaned off all of the excess liner from my liner brush, and I'm going to take that with the Wet n Wild glitter and just grab as much glitter out of here as I can. And I'm going to pack this where I would put eyeliner. You can use a glitter eyeliner. That would probably be easier. I don't have any. This is what I have. So this is what I'm using. And we're just making a pretty thin line right along the lash line. I'm getting some eyeshadow on my face. I don't know if you can tell. Oh well. That will get covered up when I put foundation and things on. And now with the glitter, I'm going to follow the bottom of that wing and just put glitter underneath it. And make sure the glitter on the bottom of the wing is connected to the glitter on your lash line. Alright, sorry if my lighting kind of sucked before. I realized that I didn't have on the lamps that are behind and on either side of me, which is very helpful for the lighting. But this is what we have as of right now. It's just very fun, very summery. I was just playing with the shadows and I did like a bunch of different things and this is what I ended up with. But we are not done. We still have the lower lash line to do. And yeah, so I'm going to do my face makeup and stuff off of camera and I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. So I have my face makeup on. I just did very simple, very neutral, nothing heavy. Because there's a lot going on in the eyes and I don't want there to be like competition and for it to clash. So I just kind of bronzed up a little bit, subtle highlight, nude lipstick, done. Light foundation, everything's just light and natural. So, back to the eyes. Oh, everything I used on my face will be listed in the description box, in case you are curious. Hi, Case. Okay, so I'm going to take my e.l.f. definer brush. What do they call it? Flat eyeliner brush. And I'm going to dip into Jada again. And I'm going to pop that on my lower lash line. And connect it to the wing a little bit. Just like butt up right against it. I'm not bringing it onto the wing because that'll mess up the glitter that we have there, but I am, right next to it. And I'm getting this on my waterline as well as in my lash line. And I'm going to bring that about 2/3 of the way in. So we have that so far. And now I am going to take my flat Morphe brush and I'm going to dip into Obsession and I'm going to put that on the inner third and blend it into Jada. And now I'm going to take that pencil brush, that Y20, and I'm going to take Silk Cream, which is the transition shade that we use, and I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to blend out that bottom lash line with it. So just on the bottom edge of where we put those colors, just blend those out. And you really want to take your time with this. And that is the look that I came up with when I was playing with the palette. I'm gonna lean in here so you guys can see. Hi! think it's very summery and very fun. It is way out of my comfort zone, and I had so much fun creating it. I actually started using, you know, that black liner, but I didn't put anything on it, and I had Royalty on the inner part, and I was trying to blend those together, and that didn't look like I wanted it to, so I was like, alright, what if we try this? And then what if we try, and this is just what became of my playing with the palette. This palette inspires me so much. I just want to play. I just want to, you know, try this, and if that doesn't work, try something else, and do this, and this, and this, and what if I tried this liner with this, and da 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 da. And yeah, so I used mascara, just mascara, instead of false lashes, because I didn't want to block my eyeshadow and the glitter liner and stuff. So you can use false lashes, but if they're too big, then they're going to block what you did, and you know, I think this is really cool, so I don't want to block it with false lashes. So thank you very much for joining me here and for watching. I hope you guys liked this. I think it's a really fun look to do. It's really different, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye. That's my telephone. I need to get that. No, I don't need to get that. Casey, can you not? Thank you.